Hi, welcome. Maggie here regarding to the Creative Research Studio. And if we are new to each other, I am an artist, I'm a writer and a coach, and I help highly creative people get out of their own way, honor their creative desires, and step out of creative avoidance. A lot of this looks like navigating resistance and fear and depressurizing the creative process. So I talk a lot about creativity. And I want to share with you today something that I wrote about 2 years ago called the Euphoria of Curiosity. And I had forgotten that I wrote this. Leah, if you are seeing this, you inspired me with your comment. And I did a scan over of this after, revisiting it. I just did like a quick scan and thought, let me try reading this out loud, see what's there. I might need to hear something, that I wrote a couple years ago, and I hope that this is useful to you, meeting you where you're at. So I'll read this here. Also just want to say that I have been in this theme of creative piles, exploring creative piles. I've written 2 pieces about those. I will have them linked below. And so part of creative piles is the stuff that we've made and that we've forgotten about and that we might need to revisit and reanimate. And so that's what I'm trying to do with this. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to try doing it with my glasses off. I don't know if I'm squinting too much, I might put my glasses on. I just see the reflection. My mind says, don't think, just write. I've been meaning to write another studio notes for a while now, but I've been overthinking, and overthinking tends to give fingers stage fright on the keyboard. But then I thought, this is just a tendency, isn't it? To keep our attention on what we haven't yet completed or crossed off the list. The stack of half-read books are side-eyeing me, the pile. In a forward-reaching society, I'm often reaching toward what's next and what's not here without even realizing it. This occurs to me with every new year and every new birthday. I spend so much time reaching. I am ferociously in love with life, that I end up sprinting from the present moment to taste more of what hasn't yet arrived. And I love this part of myself, the insatiable one, the one who wants to learn it all and all at once, the one who wants to stay in the euphoria of curiosity as an antidote to misanthropy. This craving for more also catches up with me. Turns out creative desires don't take well to toddler-like grasping. They demand space, time, and next level non-linearity. Maybe you find yourself reaching too, reaching to create better systems, reaching for a goal that you have been reaching for maybe for years but haven't yet reached. Reach harder, you might say to yourself. Reaching for urgent shifts, reaching for belonging, reaching for confidence, reaching for relief, reaching for contentment. Sometimes this reaching comes from pulsing aliveness. Maybe you're a creative conduit who knows how much life there is to taste and you want the whole juicy lot of it. Maybe there's a sense of reaching for security and stable ground in the groundless experience of being human. Sometimes we're patching up a leaky boat while weathering a storm, and the reaching is necessary. And sometimes the storm has passed, but the reaching stays. Well, am I putting off my studio notes? Yes, the answer is yes, I say. But here's the thing. Just like writing, the discipline of slowing down and taking stock with seemingly no forward movement is central to keeping my creative practice generative. I'm going to say that again. Just like writing, the discipline of slowing down and taking stock with seemingly no forward movement is central to keeping my creative practice generative. Really, it's central to arriving in oneself and drawing one's own map. And the impulse for more is a beautiful impulse for life. May we dance between the past, present, and future with honest, fluid equanimity. Okay, ready for the studio notes? Okay, me too. This is what I say. Here are the lessons I've been learning over and over again. The first one, if it sticks, it sticks. Rewind to late 2019. I was living outside of the US and in desperate need of a part-time job. And by desperate, we're talking dire need. As you can imagine, or as you might know personally, getting work as a foreigner is no joke. And it goes without saying that there's huge variance in this experience. I was on my way to a job interview and the thought came in, if it sticks, it sticks, as in, I'm putting all of my effort into this and that's all I can do. This might seem obvious, of course. Any given outcome has variables beyond one's input. And disappointment lives next to shame. It's easy to internalize shame when something doesn't work out. This motto released so much pressure from the situation. If it didn't stick, if I didn't get the job, I would have to come up with another possibility. Desperate perseverance is another conversation altogether, but this motto was extremely supportive in the moment. It allowed me to see the level of preparation that I brought to the opportunity, as well as the honest limits of my agency. Well, it stuck and I got the job. I worked a couple months at most, and the chaos of 2020 initiated, with neighboring countries promptly entering full lockdown, affecting my in-person job, of course, and everything else. But I've since carried this motto in my back pocket to remind me that there is a limit to our best efforts and best guesses, and the sticking is often beyond one's control. But on that note, the more I practice, the luckier I get. Listen, I'm not going to quote Seneca here, but you get the idea. There are a couple books out there. The harder you work, the luckier you get. The luckier you get. I don't think that this is true. The more you hustle, the luckier you get. Same idea, makes me grimace. From years of pushing beyond my energetic capacity, beyond my limits, I can say with confidence that hustling has brought me more exhaustion, mood swings, panic, disconnection, compulsions, and scarcity than luck. Your practices, the rituals and crafts you have chosen out of a deep desire or need, the ones that have chosen you, exist to nourish you. The artist Kiki Smith has shared on the quality of care that exists in devotion to one's work. Here's what she shared in an interview when asked, "What's your advice for struggling artists?" Quote, "Just do your work, and if the world needs your work, it will come and get you. And if it doesn't, do your work anyway." You can have fantasies about having control over the world, but I know I can barely control my kitchen sink. That is the grace that I'm given, because when one can control things, one is limited to one's own vision. I'm always taken care of by my work. You let go of your own idea and let the work go where it needs to go. End quote. The more I show up for my practice with care, not with hustle, the more I see receptivity and reciprocity at play. In my experience, this process has been much slower than what I think it should look like, but the sticking of it isn't my business, nor is it yours. Let your practices be a central source of nourishment. Stay steady in your care, and steadiness doesn't mean mechanical, robotic consistency. Definitely doesn't mean perfection. Notice what happens. Notice what happens beyond your control. Notice your ability to receive and relish in it. And with that said, it's okay to feel shitty after acting on your creative desires. I wish I knew this sooner. Take writing, for example. We have so many ideas of what the writing process should look like, and it's fantasy. Writing is a source of abundant pleasure and fulfillment. This is true. This is one of the truest truths I know. But it's also true that writing is often uncomfortable, unpleasant, and extremely confronting. Just because pleasure and fulfillment isn't there every time doesn't mean that your writing isn't working, or that you should stop. Please don't stop. It's okay if it feels shitty. It's part of the process that we can't bypass. It's like that with all creative practices, I think. Take filming and recording, for example. If you don't know, this is like a thing for me, practicing being on camera. And anyway, I talk about it in the first Gentle Musings, which I will link below. How many times I have wept after recording something, even that went well or as it should. There's so much emotional release in wading through creative webs, in assigning significance to your desires in a culture that does not value creativity in the ways that it deserves. Creativity stirs grief, stirs rage and emptiness and hopelessness and all of those emotions that exist beyond words. Think of all that happens in your brain chemistry and in your heart space when you choose to share yourself sincerely and fully. So much can get churned up, and it gets churned up to be loved and integrated. and you're often your own witness through this process. So if you need to take a nap or cry it out, or lay on the floor after showing up for whatever creative desires tug at your heart, there's nothing wrong with you. All right, that's what I have to share for today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Please share what resonated for you in the comments, or a lesson that you continually learn, especially about the creative process of life, about your creativity, about showing up authentically and being yourself. Yeah, would love to hear from you. So please comment and share that, or reply directly to this. Take good care, and please keep showing up to make what you are called to make. It really matters, even if for a while it feels like you're the only one that knows it.